guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Crown Hyundai in St. Pete, Florida. And guess what? I have something that's received some changes for the new model year. What is it? It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 updated, changed up, refreshed Hyundai Santa Cruz. This particular one is the off-road spec called the XRT. But before we get into this compact truck on an SUV chassis vehicle, let's talk about what's going on here. So Hyundai is really trying to bring something for everybody, from their EVs with the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6 to their full array of SUVs and even still selling sedans. Now, for model year 2025, both the Santa Cruz and its sibling, the Tucson, that sit on the same chassis, are receiving some changes, not only to the exterior, but wait until I show you the interior. In this segment, the main competitor is the Maverick. You could also throw the Ridgeline in there, but what I want to find out is, has Hyundai made the right changes to make it worth the price of this Santa Cruz? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our XRT and find out. Right off the bat, unique color, it's called Stone Blue, probably one of the more popular colors on the Santa Cruz. At the front, we start to see the new changes. All new revised daytime running lamp system, still flows into the grille, but they changed the actual lighting housing themselves. Plus we have new shape on the dark chrome finish. Down in the lower quadrant, you do have, of course, that setup of LED projector beam headlights, and you are getting flat black, which is important because they want you to go a little off-road. This isn't a rock crawler. This isn't something that you're gonna climb Mount Kilimanjaro with, but they want you to go off the beaten path. Now, new for 2025, besides the lighting effect, are these guys right here. We have these red powder-coated recovery tow hooks. That's one of the things you wanna look for a vehicle that has some type of off-road cred, is the recovery tow hooks. And then as we come across the front grille, new for 2025, they reshaped it and now it's all flat black. Forward-facing camera, working our way down, flat black in the center, and then you have that large grille area because we do have intercool turbocharged power. So there's an intercooler sitting behind this lower vent. You'll notice how they brought the dark chrome to the bottom portion. I don't know how that's gonna age as you're going off-road. Let me know in the video what you think about that dark chrome on the lower bumper area. Underneath, you just have a plastic skid plate, no metal skid plates, and you have the recovery tow hooks on both sides. One zonk that I have is, you notice how there's a rectangle shape here? There's no rectangle shape on this side. This side is open. Don't like that. That's not a cohesive design. And this fake vent area, which I'm gonna zonk, that could have had LED fog lamps in it, just like that. Now, as we rise up, hood is gonna be the same. It's a unique shape. It's different than the Tucson. You have an indentation here, curved, and then you have the same indentation on the passenger side with that curve to it. Now, as we curve around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So new for 2025, we have this off-road style wheel. This isn't a real B-lock wheel, but they changed the style of it, making it look like a B-lock wheel with the machine aluminum accents, the flat black. We now have real deal Continental terrain contact tires. You can see the shielding. If you watch my review of the 2024 Santa Cruz, you'll notice that those have totally different wheels, totally different tires. So this is a 18-inch wheel. Tires are 245 on the width, 60 series sidewall. And when you go XRT, it comes standard with Hyundai's X-Track all-wheel drive system. Let me know what you think about the plastic cladding for the fender flares. I don't mind it. What I do mind is all these weird triangles. I don't know what's up with triangles in Hyundai. Somebody must have an obsession with Doritos or Tostitos or something. And then you have a little bit of an image of your Santa Cruz here at the top, right up there. That's cute. This is just too much. Now, as we come down the side for 2025, you now have flat black on the mirror caps, 360-degree cameras, LED turn signals, no sunroof. You have the flush flat black roof rails, flat black on the door handles, and then flat black along the bottom with the Santa Cruz name. Now for 2025, these are flat black. These used to be gloss black. Let me know if you like the flat black better or if you like to have gloss black on those things. Working our way towards the rear, I love this part of the truck. They stole this right from the Honda Ridgeline, the first gen Ridgeline. Take a look at that truck and take a look at this. It's exactly the same, just a little bit smaller. All-wheel drive getting the power to the back. You do have that manual sliding tonneau cover, such a great design. And then they updated the taillights. So you have your taillights redesigned, still looking good. The H-Track 2.5T. We got our little corner steps here. You could put a work boot, a cowboy boot, or a clown shoe. And then you'll notice for 2025, we have dark chrome accents on that lower bumper on both sides. And there's the XRT badge. That is Hyundai's off-road spec trim. From the back, the Santa Cruz name. We lower this down, and then to open it, it's really so simple. I wish they could all be that easy. Obviously, protection already in the bed. You have adjustable tie-down locations, which are great, LED lighting. And then on this side, same story. Love these adjustable tie-down locations. And then the best part, which they also took from the Honda Ridgeline, is you do have storage underneath that can be used as a cooler, and it's drainable. So another nice touch, and it's lockable. It's drainable and it's lockable. And then to close this, all you gotta do is pull on the strap, throw that in there, just like that, and then you're ready to rock and roll. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about horsepower of the Santa Cruz. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod underneath the hood, simple but tasteful engine cover with the turbo name on it. And if you follow my finger, there's the turbo underneath the heat shielding right by the firewall. What are we talking about engine-wise? It's a 2.5 liter turbocharged engine, same engine from the Sonata N-Line, just tuned a little differently for truck type things. You have 281 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, top speed 133 miles per hour. The truck can tow up to 5,000 pounds, weighs 4,132 pounds, and has an MPG rating of 19 in the city, 27 on the highway. So very interesting engine choice, especially when you look at the Maverick or especially the Honda Ridgeline. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this up and see it roll. All right guys, we are inside this 2025 updated Santa Cruz XRT trim. I know you're saying to yourself, well Joe, I am liking the changes. I can't wait to see what's on the inside, but what's the price? Very good question. MSRP for the way this one sits is $42,500. Let's see how it stacks up to the competition, to the door panels. Very clean, very simple, and I'm okay with that. The one zonk I have, actually two, is gonna be that cloth in the center. Not digging that, and the amount of gloss black is quite ridiculous on the door handle. You're gonna get so much powdered donut fingerprints all over. It's gonna look like an FBI fingerprint test. Now down below, door pocket is big enough for one cheeseburger, one small fry, and a small Coke from Mickey D's. Going from the door panel to the dash, soft touch. You do have a nice Twinkie tray for at least 24 Twinkies. That's new for 2025. They've enlarged this area. And then another thing they enlarged is your infotainment system and gauges. It's now all one piece, 12.3 inch, 12.3 inch, all the familiar apps, screens that you're used to, just now bigger and better, a little pointed towards the driver. Throw it in reverse, super clear on the resolution, nice 360 cameras, spin it around, looking good. Working our way down, this is all new. So you're still gonna have your real volume knob for all your audio controls, but nice to see real, clean, easy to use controls for the dual climate your AC. You just have heated seats, no ventilated seats. And at this price point, $42,000, that's a zonk. Down below, you got 2 USB-Cs, a 12-volt wireless charger, and then this is your Hyundai key fob. Not the best looking key fob, but hey, it does what it's supposed to. You do have remote start. Also, you could put one Hostess cupcake right in this area here, which is nice. 2 cup holders. This is going to control your 8-speed dual clutch transmission. You got your different drive modes. You can lock your center diff, hill descent control. For some reason, they decided to put gloss black here. You see what it's doing? Those are fingerprints. Open this up though. You got a little tiny tray in there. This is where you could put some Skittles. And then I would say you could probably fit a 1-pound bag of Hershey's chocolate. Just make sure that you eat it before you park the car, because the Hershey's chocolate is gonna melt. Promise you that. Seats, the leather style material. I do like the way they did the XRT right here in the back portion of the seat. Bolstering's decent. Electric assist, no, manual controls. I'm shocked at 42 grand, that needs to be a power seat. That's a zonk. Manual controls for the passenger, power control for the driver, no sunroof. Let me know in the comment section if that's a zonk at $42,000. But come on over here at the business end. I got a new steering wheel I want to introduce you to in the Santa Cruz. All right, guys, business time. Behind the new wheel, you do have your easy, accessible seat controls for the power driver's seat. Real nice to get that lower lumbar kicking. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. Steering wheel, I'm glad they changed it. More conventional looking wheel, simple. I'm not digging the Morse code. Listen, we're not back in the 1900s with Morse code. We could have the letter H here. I don't know why they do that. It looks kind of cheap, to be honest with you. You do have some PDI here. This is Hyundai and Kia puts more protective film on their vehicles than any other manufacturer. I mean, look at this. This is on the steering wheel, and they protect everything, which obviously they forgot to take that off when they were PDI in this vehicle. But you do have paddles on the back of the wheel to go up and down the 8-speed DCT. It is manual adjustments on your controls. And then you do have that new 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. You got your different drive modes: snow, smart, sport, and normal. So if you were dumb in school, now you could be really smart and drive around sport mode and smart mode. I drive in sport mode, that's what I do. But you do have your corner cameras, really clear resolution, which is nice for those blind spots. And then you got all the great information in the center. One thing that's missing is a head-up display, so I'm a little bummed out about that. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat, because I want to take you for a drive in this 2025 Santa Cruz. All right, guys, back seat time, and this is where you're going to get a ton of room back here, especially if you compared this to a lot of the mid-size trucks like the Tacoma, the Colorado, the Canyon, the Frontier. A lot more room because this is sitting on a crossover, a compact crossover SUV chassis. No pocket behind the driver's seat, so if you are collecting pine cones, you're gonna have to hold on to them while you're being driven around, and that could be a very painful experience if, God forbid, there was an accident. You do have AC vents, which are great. 2 USB-Cs. I have my own pocket here because I'm not putting my pine cones in between my legs. I like my family jewels. Plenty of headroom. Hard plastic on the back seats. That's a cop-out. This should be soft touch, just like the people up front. What are we, peasants sitting in the back? God. Pull that down. Nice and soft. 2 cup holders, and you do have your manual sliding rear cab window, which is nice for easy access of certain things. But why don't we go ahead, let's get behind the wheel and go for a spin in the Santa Cruz. All right, guys, we're leaving Crown Hyundai. We're in this 2025 Santa Cruz with some pretty major updates, especially on the interior. Like I was pointing out, with this being newly structured, it really makes much more sense, especially with the larger screens. Having those 2 12.3-inch screens just, I don't know, elevates the feel in here, but also the usability. And of course, well within reach, nicely angled towards the driver. I like the fact that they upgraded the tires, because not only do they give you a good ride, it doesn't add a bunch of extra noise, and you have that sidewall protection to make sure that when you are doing some off-roading, you're not going to get a puncture. I think the one thing that many people are going to miss in this vehicle is going to be, of course, that sunroof. No sunroof, even on the XRT trim. But the soft touch material is nice. Visibility is great, as always. Even out the back, still looks fantastic. And I like the fact that this gets the turbocharged 2.5 liter inline 4 engine. It really gives you enough oomph to make things halfway interesting and provide some snappy acceleration. But really easy to drive, even in traffic situations. And that's the thing is that this vehicle, this truck, does not drive like traditional trucks because it is sitting on the same chassis as the Tucson. The information that you could display in the center is really nice to have all those different readouts. And then let's go on throttle. I'm gonna put us into sport mode here. On throttle, here we go. Nice fast shifts from that 8-speed DCT. And like I said, getting within the infotainment system, it's easy to navigate through and well within reach. So that's really, really nice to have that. Visibility of the dash is great. I love the new steering wheel in here. And you do have paddles, like I said, to go up and down that 8-speed dual clutch transmission. But as soon as this light turns green, we are going on throttle. On throttle, here we go. A little bit of delay. Like I said, has definitely plenty of pep. It's just the problem with these DCTs is that in a non-performance vehicle setting, it kind of hampers the acceleration, especially when they pair it to a turbocharged engine, because you're already having some of the acceleration hampered because you got to wait for the boost to build up from the turbo, and then there's a delay with the shifting action off the line of the 8-speed dual clutch transmission. So that, like I said, just compounds the situation with acceleration from a dead stop. Anywhere else in the driving experience or the rev range, it accelerates just fine. It's just from a dead stop. But it would have been nice to have the ventilated seats in here and to have the sunroof. I think, to me, that's a weird place to cut corners when you're looking at this price point of the Santa Cruz XRT. But the seats are very comfy. Sound deadening material, it's actually quite pleasant in here when it comes to overall exterior sound. And like I mentioned, they did a good job with choosing a tire that gives you the sidewall protection but isn't going to make a ton of extra noise. But the ability to lock your center diff, to have your hill descent control, it rides smoothly over bumps. Just a good size to where you can navigate through traffic without a problem. Parking is a cinch. And then you got the usability of that 4.5-foot bed. And one of the industry's only from the factory tonneau cover, sliding tonneau cover. The other trucks that have that would be like the Rivian and the Tesla. So quite a big difference in price point of truck, having that sliding tonneau cover. But in normal driving situations, the DCT behaves just fine. And if you need to use the paddles, you have paddles to go through that 8-speed. I like the way the new dash all one piece, nice and low, doesn't block your vision whatsoever, and it looks a lot cleaner. It just looks a lot cleaner in here, especially without all that gloss black from where they had all the radio controls and AC controls. I'm gonna make a U-turn here, show you how easy that is. Look at that, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. On throttle, here we go, a little bit of delay, but then she goes. See, now I'm gonna do that from a roll. So right now we're at 40 on throttle. See, it's more instantaneous. And the Santa Cruz handles really, really well. But I hope that this has been a good, quick overall review of what the Santa Cruz is bringing for 2025. We're gonna get back to Crown Hyundai and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another fun day here at Crown Hyundai. Definitely got to thank Casey and the rest of the team getting us access to one of their first 2025 Santa Cruz, especially an XRT. Let me know what you think. Do you like the changes that Hyundai has made? Is it worth the price? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood Photography. Thank you, Stephen, for busting your butt out here in the sun with all the noise. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.